One of my favorite things in the world to do is watch Friends. I know it's been off for years and years. It's not even around, but I still find myself binge watching old episodes. And I was thinking about this today and thinking, it's the predictability of the friends in the circle, right? You have Chandler with his quirkiness, Monica with her type A of just everything has to be so neat and tidy and organized. It's Phoebe's ability to make you laugh at her silly songs. Ross always comes in with those smart comments, and Joey and him and his food, like it is just so hilarious. And of course, Rachel, she just brings everybody together, and it's just such this beautiful, cohesive team of people. And it's why I wanted to come on and share with you today that I have an opportunity for you to find your friends in the content creation space. So if you are thinking about creating your first or your next digital course, I don't want you to miss this opportunity because Amy Porterfield just opened the doors for registration for her Course Confident Bootcamp. And I'm actually offering a special bonus for anyone that registers for the Course Confident Bootcamp through my special link. So I want you to go to krystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp to register. That's krystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp. And what you're going to find when you get there is I have this special bonus private podcast series. It's called Money Mindset for Creators. So I want you to go register for Amy's bootcamp, download the podcast, and immediately start listening to it, because what this training is set up to do is to help you get your mind right about monetizing your content, making money so that you can fuel your content creation dreams. So go to krystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp to register for Course Confident. And I cannot wait for you to find your friends and find the people that will be there for you. Do you see what I did there? Yeah, nice little friends segue connection. Go to krystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp. And I cannot wait to see you inside. Okay, let's get into today's episode.
Are you someone that says, I don't have enough ideas? I don't. I'm afraid that I'm going to start a podcast and I have 10 good ideas and then I have no idea what I'm going to talk about after that. Well, then you're in luck, because today's episode is sponsored by my brand new masterclass, The 3 Strategies to Fill Your 2020 Podcast Calendar. So go to krystalprofit.com/masterclass to register, because in this masterclass, I'm going to cover 3 strategies that are totally going to blow your mind. We are actually going to plan the first 6 months of 2020, so you never sit down at your computer and say, what am I supposed to talk about this week? Nope. You're actually going to have from January through June planned out. Like, did you hear what I said? You're going to be able to sit down in January and say, I don't have to plan another podcast episode until the summer, and you're going to be so excited. So come on, join us. Go to krystalprofit.com/masterclass to register today. So today is a super special episode because I wanted to share with you about gratitude. Now, I have a very unique relationship with gratitude. What does that mean? That means that I have not always been grateful for the simple things in my life. Like, not the huge, like, okay, I have a roof over my head, I have clean water, like, I have healthy kids, I have a great marriage, like, all those things, right? Because those are things that I feel I've done a pretty good job of being grateful for. But I'm talking about the little things in my life that have made all the difference in the last few years. So today I want to talk about gratitude and how it has impacted me. So let's dive right in. Welcome to the Profit Podcast, where we teach entrepreneurs how to start, launch, and market their podcast.
I'm your host, Krystal Prophet, and I'm so excited that you're here. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Because if you've been thinking about creating a podcast for a while, well, I'm so glad you found this show. Think of this as the shortcut / time-saving version of searching Google and YouTube for hours and hours trying to figure out the world of podcasting. Trust me, as a busy mama of 3, I get it. You don't have a lot of time to be spent or wasted, I should say, searching the web, trying to find all the right ideas and all the amazing things that are out there, and you just end up overwhelmed. Trust me, I've been there, done that, took home the souvenir. But this podcast is going to help you in practical ways because twice a week we'll be delivering episodes that are going to give you steps to help you create a podcast your audience can't wait to listen to. So let's get right to it, shall we?
So having a gratitude journal is something I started a few years ago. And I've seen this practice a lot more lately, and I don't know if it's because there's a lot of bigger influencers that talk about it. I know Rachel Hollis has an entire practice about writing down gratitudes, 10 every single day. But it's something I've been doing at least for the last 5 years, and it's made a huge impact on my perspective. And the reason why it's been so impactful for me is because I don't take a lot of stuff for granted anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't make me a perfect human in any way, shape, or form. Come on, guys. Like, you all should know this by now. Perfectionism is not a thing. Like, it's not a thing for me. I don't have a perfectionist mindset anymore. I used to. I call myself a recovering perfectionist because I used to be stuck in that just loop of everything had to be perfect and I didn't give myself a lot of grace or even room to fail, and it held me back for a really long time. But with gratitude, man, I just see things in a totally new light because here's a great example. The other day, I was having some major tech issues. I mean, y'all can totally relate to this. I was trying to do a Facebook Live, and I have my computer set up where I have my webcam and I had my Blue Yeti mic plugged in, and I was like ready to go, right? It was a very short time frame where all the kids were out of the house and it was just me for like 2 hours, and I had this one Facebook Live that I had to do. It was a training. And I was like, okay, I have to do this between 9:30 a.m. and 12 p.m. Like, I had to get it done in this time frame because I had other stuff I had to do. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get this to work. Well, all the technology crapped out on me. Like, legit, my Blue Yeti stopped working. The webcam started doing something funky. I don't even know. I don't even know what happened. I really don't. It was one of those like Murphy Law days where I was like, oh, well, everything's just breaking because it can. And I could have just really given into that and just said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to walk away and just be done with it. But my perspective helped me realize, no, I'm grateful that I have the ability to use my phone, which is really funny, but I don't have a fancy phone, you guys. I have an iPhone 6S, which I've had for forever. And the screen is cracked, which it's not really cracked. It has one of those, the covers, you know which ones I'm talking about, like the plexiglass. But I mean, it is like legit glass. If y'all have ever broken one, it's like peeling off on your face and you're like, oh, wait, maybe I should change this out because it's going to scratch my face off. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You get me. You understand me. Or you may be saying, Krystal, just get a new screen protector because that's ridiculous. But no, I haven't because I'm hoping that Santa will bring me a new phone. So that's a hint out into the universe that if you're looking for a gift for me, I would love a new phone because this one is pretty bad. It doesn't charge it. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent about we're supposed to be talking about gratitude, right? Like, I'm grateful for this phone because I was able to grab it and do my Facebook Live, because that was the one thing I needed to do. And a few years ago, I would have probably just gotten mad and walked away and said, you know what, I'm just not even going to do it. I'm just going to figure something else out. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. But the gratitude practice that I do every single day has helped me become more aware of, even in a bad situation, which I know that's not really like a big deal, right? First world problem. But I can see where I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky to be able to even grab my old phone, my reliable phone, because I have internet, because I can pay my bills, because I can afford a cell phone, because I'm not living in abject poverty. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you see where I'm going with this, right? Like, there's so many things. If you just stop, actually right now, whatever you're doing, if you're driving, don't stop, please. Like, please just keep going on the road. Don't get distracted. Okay. No distracted driving here. But I want you to look around wherever you are. If you're at the gym, if you're folding clothes, if you're, multitasking, like whatever, just stop for a second, look around. What can you be grateful for? So y'all should know this. Okay. I'm recording in my closet right now, and I am grateful. Y'all are not going to believe this. Okay. This is a big deal. I'm grateful that all of the laundry is put away. And I know I'm so silly, and it may seem like a little bitty thing, and you're just like, that's ridiculous, Krystal, but I am. I'm so grateful. I've finally caught up on my laundry. It is all put away. I have one little basket of socks that I refuse to go through right now. I'm just like, I don't even know. Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? Because at least all the other stuff is put away, and I'm so stinking grateful for it, because my headspace is a lot better whenever there's not baskets of laundry in my floor, and I'm not tripping over it. I'm not pushing it out of the way, and I'm not I'm not walking around it trying to basically just shove it away and pretend like, oh, I'll deal with that later. And I know it sounds so silly, but I am. I'm so grateful for it. I'm grateful for the fact that I have clothes to wear. I have more than one pair of pants and a t-shirt and some shoes, right? Like, I'm so grateful I have the ability to wash my family's clothes with a washer and dryer that works. Y'all, have you ever had your washer machine or your dryer break on you suddenly? It sucks. It sucks. We've had it happen a few times, actually. We had something go wrong with a dryer. And I mean, you want to talk about, it really sucks if you have an entire, huge load of laundry that you just washed, and then you're like, oh, the dryer broke. Like, it's not, and I know these are first world problems, but guys, I'm trying to put this into perspective for you. Like, how amazingly lucky you are to have a washing machine and a dryer, to have a refrigerator to keep food cool for your family, to keep it fresh. How lucky you are to have air conditioning or heating. How lucky you are to have clothes on your back. How lucky you are to even be listening to this podcast. Okay? I just really wanted to hone in on being grateful for the things that we often take for granted. So I mentioned I have a gratitude practice. So what I do every single day, I have this notebook, and it was so sweet of mine. Shout out to my friend Jean. She knew that I loved writing and I loved coffee. So a few years ago, she gave me a coffee mug and a journal, and I started writing in this journal, and I said, this is going to be my gratitude journal. And it's pink, and it has polka dots on it, and I love it so much. It's one of those that it's very worn in. I've been using it for 3 years straight, and I'm actually about to run out. I'm on my last few pages, and it's making me a little sad. I need to get another one. But I write the date at the top, and then I say, today I'm grateful for and then I write 3 things. Sometimes I write a few more. If I get to the bottom of a page, and it would be like 2 blank spaces. So I do 5 every few days. I'll do 5 gratitudes, but y'all, it's just made all the difference, because there are some days where I wake up and I'm not in a good mood, right? Like I didn't sleep very well. One of the kids came down in the middle of the night, or, the dog was making noises, or, whatever it could be. I don't feel good, all kinds of things. So you wake up in the morning, or even just the fact that it's 5 a.m. and I'm like, really? Do I have to get up this early? But then I sit down and I say, today I'm grateful for, and I take a deep breath. And even if it's just a fresh cup of coffee, or the fact that my children are healthy. So I haven't shared a ton about this, but my nephew, my brother's son, went through childhood leukemia. And it was a few years ago, and thank goodness he's healthy, healthy as a horse right now, but he is the same age as our middle son. And so there was a time period where I would say basically every day, I'm so grateful for healthy children, as I watched my brother and sister-in-law go through this journey of taking care of a sick child. I mean, y'all, it was brutal. It was so brutal. I don't even know how they emotionally, mentally made it through it, because it just, it was very difficult situation for them to go through, not only for him, but them as parents. And so I remember there was just a time where I wrote that every single day. I'm so grateful. So even just the little things that we take for granted, just having healthy kids. And I know if you have kids, they probably drive you crazy, but the fact that they're healthy and they're here, and there are kids, I think about people who would kill just for the ability to have children, or to adopt children, or, just maybe they've lost a child. So whenever I think about it and I put things into perspective, then I'm grounded for the day, because I know no matter what happens, no matter if I have all these tech issues, or somebody cancels on me, or something bad happens and I lose a bunch of files, whatever the case may be, I can go back to my gratitudes and say, I have healthy children. I have my laundry put away. I have a roof over our heads and food in our bellies. And I have just so many blessings surrounding me. So I know today is Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this later, then it's probably not Thanksgiving. But the reason why I wanted to do this special episode is because I wanted to just remind you that you have so many blessings in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's people who believe in you and what you're doing, or whether it's just the fact that you have your laundry all put away. There are so many blessings around you. So I wanted to just take the time and acknowledge things to be grateful for. Because if you can do that, and I encourage you to do it every single day, even if it's just 3 things every single day. You have electricity today. That's a blessing, because there's been times in my life where I did not have electricity on. And then I have running water. I have a hot cup of coffee. I have the ability to feed my children. I have the ability to work out. That's actually a good one, because some days I'll complain oh, I have to go to the gym, I have to work out. And then I remember I have a friend who, she was in a car accident and she lost her arm. She lost part of her arm and she lost part of her leg. And she struggled for a while with not being able to work out, not being able to move her body the way she really wanted to. And I would think about her anytime I would complain about going to the gym. I would think, man, she would kill just to be able to run on her legs. She would kill just to be able to lift weights the way she used to. She would kill to have the ability to have the life that she used to have. But she's also one of the happiest people that I know. And I feel so fortunate to know her. Shout out Lauren. She knows who she is. But I just, I'm very grateful for the ability to come here and talk to you every single week and share my message, share the things that I've learned, share the mistakes that I've made, and just have the technology that we do where we can share messages that inspire and hopefully motivate other people to do the same thing, to share their own message. So I know today was a little sappy. Today was a little, like non-traditional podcast, but I really wanted to come and share with you my thoughts on gratitude because I think it's important and I think that we should all be doing that. So that's it for today. So if this is your first time tuning in, then this was definitely a different episode. So I encourage you to go listen to some more episodes of the Profit Podcast and really dig into some of the podcasting tips and techniques that we share here most of the time for our entrepreneurs. But I encourage you to subscribe wherever you're listening to this and leave us a rating and a review. Take a screenshot and share it out on social media. You can find us at Krystal Profit TX. And you can find the show notes for this episode at krystalprofit.com/episode 105. And that's it. So remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.
Hey, Profit Podcast listeners, thanks for sticking around to a little bit after the episode to hear this special message because I want to hear from you. We are starting a new segment called Fan Mail Shoutouts, and I want to hear from you and I want to hear your questions. What do you want to know? What questions have you been dying to ask me? So here's how to make this happen. Go to the app where you're listening to this podcast right now. Go there. I'll wait a second. Okay. Now, once you're there, you're going to see a hyperlink at the top of the episode description that says, send Krystal a text message. And that's all I want you to do. Send me a text. It could be casual, informal. It could be totally anonymous. Or if you want, you can include your name and the name of your podcast or content wherever you are creating, and I will give you a special shout out in an upcoming episode. So again, go to the show notes for where you're listening to this episode right now, and it will say, send Krystal a text message. And I cannot wait to hear from you and give you a shout out in an upcoming segment of Fan Mail Shoutouts.